ladies and gentlemen, today we're playing Warframe on the Nintendo Switch. Now, this is actually being sponsored by Digital Extremes, the people behind this game. It was pretty cool. They reached out to us and everything, and they're sponsoring us in a video, so it's pretty cool to see. This is actually our first sponsorship. Don't take a ton of them, but this kind of clicked pretty much all together because we were going to be playing the game anyway. In fact, Evan even did like 5 tips to get you started. If you missed that, that's actually up in the card right now. I've been told a lot's changed, and in order to check this out, I wanted to bring in Evan because, Evan, how many hours do you have in this game?
Currently almost 1,400.
Okay, so Evan is slightly familiar with this game, so he's going to help us out here because, Evan, the one thing when I was reading through the comments in the video you did, which was a good video, the tips and everything, people felt still kind of overwhelmed by it, so I thought it would make sense if I came in and you maybe helped me through some of the missions and stuff to check it out here, because there is a lot going on in this game. I mean, Panic Button, first of all, did the port for this, and they did some serious stuff. They have full customization settings that you would normally see almost on like a PC game, but of course they do also have these options in the other versions. But to see Panic Button make the move to bring all this stuff over, I mean, there's a wealth of options here. You can change the GPU particles. They have depth of field. You can turn motion blur off, bloom off, color correction. You can even play around with your field of view, which I turned all the way up. I recommend you doing the same thing there. They have UI customization to the point where they have things that would more accommodate someone who is colorblind, for example. Here, a colorblind friendly UI color theme. Pretty cool there. They even have full key binding. You can kind of set these different presets and you can just go around changing stuff. Like if I go in here to like here's a ability menu, for example, and I can just start adding stuff in that you want to kind of add. You can go to general and play around here as well. Very quickly, this is on PC, Xbox One, PS4, and now the Switch. We're looking at the Switch version here, like we said earlier. You can definitely expand on this, Evan. This is free to play. You don't have to pay anything to download it. You can just go download it, and it has 5 years of content.
Yeah, just about 5 years of content. That's what makes it seem like it's overwhelming to people. The trick is that it doesn't all happen at once. You're not just going to drop into the game and fight a Titan in an open world environment. They do ease you into everything. They do try to get you used to everything as you move forward. So, especially with the tip video I gave, that's mostly just to get you started thinking like, I just need to go planet to planet. I just need to do these very basic things. And then as you go, you'll start to discover more and more. You'll start to realize what certain elements in the game, like the archwings and all that, what it even means, what they do. So to try to know all of it before you even press play is kind of an issue. If you really want to like have 100% of the game knowledge and then play, you really should just hop in and then experience the universe, as we're hopefully going to do a little bit today. Okay.
And it is always online, so you need to have an internet connection to play it pretty much at all times. And they're recommending that you have an SD card, 32 to 64 gigabyte cards. I've talked to you guys, all of you guys, about this before. At this point, you probably want an SD card for your Switch anyway, and they've become exceptionally cheap, but just some requirements kind of put out there for you guys. So Evan, what are you going to teach me here? What are you going to show me here? I just started out. I got the tutorial missions all done. I have access to the modifications I can do. What should I be doing now?
Well, first, we're just going to hop into a mission because the early stuff is actually very easy. You won't need to really push your suit all that much. Let me invite you in here and we'll just hop into something basic. I mean, you're a Halo guy, so running through a tunnel, killing things, it's got to be simple enough, right?
Yeah. Okay, we are starting a mission. And what are we doing here, Evan? What's the plan?
All right. So as with every mission, they'll tell you a little bit usually with the flavor text when you start, but that waypoint, the thing you're seeing on the screen, the big red thing, that's it. Like you just go to it and do what's supposed to happen there. When it's red, it's usually kill this. Okay. And all that waypoint's doing is telling you that the closest enemy to us is 108 meters away. He's walking around and we're supposed to kill him. So this is on you. I am probably just gonna stealth it out the whole way.
I see 2 guys up here.
They still haven't seen you yet. If you can sneak up behind one, you could stealth kill them. There are heavy stealth elements to this game if you melee.
Yeah, I got one of them and then they all turned around and saw me. But I got him, so. So now I'm just kind of shooting. It is an action RPG, I guess is the best way to describe it, as there are moments where you pretty much run through here, and then you have moments of deep customization with your different frames as well. So I'm just hitting this guy with my staff a lot. I do like that the numbers also pop up ahead of them as well when you. It kind of has that, I guess, that little Borderlands feel when I'm playing. That's what it reminds me of with all the numbers popping up.
It's the benefit of the min-maxing as well. Like, as you get further in the game and you min-max a lot, you'll start seeing way larger numbers, and that's just the feeling of it. It's so great.
So we talked about how there's years of content available pretty much right away as soon as you download it. But how much stuff are we looking at here, Evan? Can you give me a rough idea of how much stuff I'm going to be going through here? Like, how much content do I get right off the bat?
You get everything, and you'll have access to all elements of it. Like, there's a whole section of the game that actually involves you flying around in space doing missions. That involves you having to go through a quest line to get a jump pack. Now, where some other free-to-play games would probably give you just a really cheap one and then sell really good ones in the marketplace, you have full access to every single one of them. You just have to work for it. So the only real thing that comes from payment in this game... Are you saying I have to play the game? Yeah, you just got to play the game.
All right, Evan. So there's frames. That's what I'm wearing. That's what you're wearing. They're like the suits is what they call them, frames. So how many frames are actually in this game? And you get those are ones you actually kind of work towards and get in the game as you go along, right?
Yep. They're currently over 30.
Okay, so the different frames and they have different abilities and names and kind of attributes to them. I saw one that looked like a rhino. I think that's what I'm going to go with.
It's a good one. That one's carried me for a while. You haven't used your abilities at all even while running through this, just so you know. Like, you're just killing things with guns, which is a viable thing. But you do have, I believe, a sword slash right now that you should be able to access.
You called me a Halo guy in the beginning, so I'm using the guns. Working through this mission pretty quick. I do notice that when you have a nice little party going, which people can join in, by the way, if you leave it open, people actually randomly join in. So it basically has its own like kind of random matchmaking that I've noticed as well, which is cool. This is an ongoing game, right? This is a service-based game. Basically, it's one that's frequently updated. I mean, when we were playing this when it first came out, I remember the first day there was an update that we got hit with. So this is something that's going to be updated constantly going forward. And I did talk to them a bit about that their panic button would be on for some of the updates as well going forward. They'll probably talk more about that as we go along, but it sounds like, this is going to be something that will be patched and worked on constantly going forward. And that's something you've actually experienced, Evan, right?
Yep. Playing the PC side of it, we usually get the content first on PC. It is sort of a bug testing system. They do need to make sure it's all good. We get, I swear to God, in a day we get like 3 hot fixes.
I mean, that's a good thing, I guess, technically.
Yeah, because then as it drops on console, there's no more hot fixes really required. It's just you guys get the content. Right now, we're a whole open world zone away from consoles, but that should, and it sounds like they're pretty confident of it happening soonish, but they should be putting that on consoles soon. And it's been pretty fun because you get the whole Tony Hawk skateboard system that they added, which is an enjoyable addition.
So by 2019, they want to have the Switch version up to parity with the other versions as well, is what they're saying. I've leveled up quite a few things, or at least gained experience to them. Excalibur is almost level 7. And then I also realized that there is like an overall rank for my account. Would you be able to tell me a bit about that?
Everything in this game that you're dealing with, the frames, the weapons, any of the additional helpers you might find along the way, they tend to have a level attached to them. Those all funnel in to your account level. That's really the big thing that kind of limits what you're able to do moving forward. So it's always worth thinking about what you can do in order to push that forward. Basically leveling suits, clearing the different nodes as we go around doing these missions, it increases that for you heavily.
I did like a test. It was like a mastery level. I got to a certain point and I could go do a test, and then it gave me that mastery level. So that was kind of neat. It was almost like a little, I guess, a physical that you do almost, where I was running around shooting things to show that I could do it. I'm actually going to install this segment here that I have apparently on the ship. And then you also have a ton. We can go through those kind of quickly because there's a lot of modifications in this game.
Modifications are definitely one of the things in this game that really let it shine. That the min-maxing I talk about, in most games it's usually how much weapon damage does this do and what does it interact with the rest of my character abilities for. This game goes a little bit of a different route. using these just ridiculous number of mods you can apply to Warframes, guns, pets, even the jump packs and all that come into the game. They'll increase speed, armor, they'll up survivability, they'll change even the rate at which you bleed out when you're down, so that someone can possibly revive you. It could even increase the damage you do while bleeding out as well. Like, you can design a suit for almost anything.
Yeah, the amount of content here is quite staggering. It's amazing how much stuff is actually in this game. I see that I can upgrade my weapons. Each weapon has different ranks as you level up. When we played the mission, at the end I got experience even for my guns. My Exalted Blade. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. Okay, so Evan took me somewhere else now, and the first thing I said when we dropped in was, there's weather happening. So it's just straight up snowing here, which is actually pretty cool looking. But what are we doing here, Evan?
Well, this is a spy mission, and yeah, this is actually a really cool place, because when I started playing this game, this wasn't here, and they've added so many tile sets, so many different planets, actually. There's currently 18 planets that you can actually travel around to in this game. They all have different feelings. They all have different kind of layouts. You'll fight most of the 3 factions across all of them, so you'll get to see how those factions interact with the different tile sets completely. But this mission is a little bit different from what we just did. The last mission was just run, kill things, basic. You can still do that here. That's completely fine. But there's a little bit of a stealth element to it, a little Metal Gear Soliding, actually, at these 3 waypoints. They're kind of like puzzle rooms that we have to complete. So we'll just make our way there, and then I'll talk to you when we get there. So let's kill some stuff.
Okay, so Evan just showed me one of the most ridiculous things so far in the game, and it's probably a little thing to a lot of people, but I can slide, jump, and corkscrew dash is what it looks like. Is that what I'm doing, Evan, when I do this? Because this looks insane. It's like you run, it's crouch, then you jump, whoa, and you like do this.
Yep,
like
and then if you crouch, if you manage to crouch while in the air, you'll slide out of it, and then you just jump again, and that's how most people get around when they're trying to run through a mission.
So there's also wall running in the game. Like, you are a literal, I guess you're basically, you're a literal ninja in this game.
Oh yeah, they've been pushing to make it even better, but if you just run up to a wall and hold jump, you can go up, you can go left, run around, be a ninja.
That's cool.
Do ninja things.
See myself jump around. You also have like these jets, or it slows time basically when you jump, or your descent.
Oh yeah, the bullet diving. It slows your fall, lets you actually target things while you're falling. I'm gonna open this and try not to trigger any alarms or piss anyone off.
Yeah, I can't promise that, but all right.
So you see the laser grid over there moving?
Yes, I see it. Yep.
This is basically a very simple form of stealth where we just have to deal with the laser grid that's going by as well as the one that's past us. So if we want to just move up to here and go, get up here. This is a laser grid that goes back and forth. We can drop through.
Whoa, okay.
Just give it a second. There you go. And then the camera over there doesn't see us. You can come over here and hack that.
Okay, cool. Let's hack this. Let's see. Oh, I just gotta. Oh man, just gotta move stuff around, huh?
Yep, connect the lines.
I gotta try it again.
Yep, triggered the alarm. Normally at the hard difficulty, they give you like 10 seconds to, undo this problem. But you got about a minute to actually get this right. So, should be fine at this level.
There we go. Okay, so we completed a couple missions, but Evan told me about the open world. There's a lot more to it other than just running missions. And Evan brought me here, and he's gonna tell me what's going on here.
Well, this is the hub city, Cetus, which is actually, this definitely wasn't around when this whole thing began. Most of the game was similar to what we were just doing. Pick a mission, go through a tile set, clear it. Kind of like a classic dungeon crawler. But then around the time Destiny 2 was announced, they were like, hey, we're going to give you guys an open world. We're going to throw you guys into a place where you can actually go through, explore, kind of experience what other types of MMOs are able to achieve. We're bringing that to Warframe. And they did an insanely good job with it.
So we kind of touched on it earlier. This game is constantly like adding stuff to it and just changing and evolving with feedback and patches, whether it's performance or content, right? That's what we're looking at. We're basically looking at a game that is constantly like moving forward.
You're seeing all the other people who are playing right now, and it's a great place to go to try to create new groups, meet new people, and just explore and try to build up the friends list you need to kind of get through the high end in this game.
Okay, so I'm working through some missions still, guys, to get to that point, but Evan is 1,400 hours in, so he's doing all kinds of crazy stuff out in the open world, and he's going to show you guys that now.
So like we've been talking about, there's tons of different ways to play, tons of places to play in, and these massive open worlds are a great example. Specifically, this first one here, Plains of Eidolon, which you immediately have access to without having to buy DLC, without having to buy any kind of expansions. But Warframe goes even farther beyond that and gives you access to just an incredible ensemble of functionality, incredible ways of sort of expressing yourself in a massive multiplayer situation. And all you really have to do is start playing. Like, that's just the key thing. Just get in there, enjoy the universe, and everything that they've built for you, everything Digital Extremes has put into place for you to explore and experience, it's all there. So don't hesitate, just check it out.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for Warframe on the Nintendo Switch by Digital Extremes, ported by Panic Button. If you haven't been able to tell, Evan likes this game a lot, as he's been playing it quite a bit. But there's a lot to do here. It's pretty cool that it's free to play, and it's just a massive game already. So you're jumping into quite a bit of content already there. Now, I did reach out very quickly to Direct Feed Games Nate, and he provided us with undocked footage that was directly captured from the Switch. So if you are already on your Switch watching on YouTube, or if you switch over it for this last section, you'll actually be able to see, if you have it in handheld mode watching YouTube, what the game would look like on your Switch in handheld mode. So feel free to switch over to that. We're going to leave you guys with that footage. Evan, thanks for your help today, for showing me around Warframe. Sounds like you might have to get even more in depth with some of these other parts, and I wouldn't mind seeing a video from you, maybe some tips or something extended into some of the late game stuff, as I'm sure a lot of questions are going to be already down in the comments. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
The segment you need is in a nearby data vault. Infiltrate the vault and retrieve the segment. This data vault is equipped with a variety of security measures. How you defeat those measures is up to you. You're nearing the console. Trigger the alarms now, and they will start destroying the data. Retrieval was successful. The segment is yours. Head to extraction.
As every moment passes, the Ascaris burrows deeper, revealing you.
Orbiter Void Cloak engaging. Welcome back, Operator. The Operator has recovered a segment. Install it now. Orders patiently awaits its installation.
You have broken their ranks and they are on the run. Another successful mission. Find extraction. The arms dealer is named Darvo. He's being held in the prison block on the other side of this factory complex.
I owe you for this dinner. I will get my entourage to meet us in orbit once we're clear of this mess.
Extraction is ready. Remember, your success here depends on getting Darvo out of there, alive.
I cannot. Ah!